Good morning, Coachy. My name is Alex with Tipngoal. Please, can you introduce yourself to us?
All right. I am Coach Prince Morgan, the coach of Bonez Football Club Kubwa, located in Biaji, and I serve currently as Secretary of Kubwa Football Coaches Society (KFCS), an affiliation from Buhari Area Council. We broke out from them because of the sparse coaches or the availability of other grassroots coaches or amateurs that we had, so that we have to break out so that we can contain them and ensure that football development is seen around Kubwa and Biaji precisely. So I also serve in the capacity of also Biaji All-Stars as a public relations officer. So I'm into football, sports in general too, as you can see here. Thank you.
Alright, Coachy, please can you tell us about your journey into coaching and how your team started?
Okay, first thing first, I myself, I played a couple of clubs, but like we discussed behind the stage about how it's difficult for you to combine football and then schooling, and so I had to focus on one, which was schooling. But I played football. I played for Fine FC, Akwa State. I played for Calabar Rovers, Cross River State, and a couple of other teams too. And then when I came back to my hood, which is Kubwa, which I've been for the last 25 years, and then I was part of a team, and then that had no coach at the point. Although we had someone that was taking care of the team in the person of Murphy, and over time we saw that there was need for progression from that level because the team was actually growing and developing. So I had to take charge, and then it's been over 6 to 7 years now and counting, and then I have been the coach of Bonez Football Club alongside other primary appointments. Like I go to National Stadium to handle the team every Thursday, which is a Rising Star, and it's an appointment that somebody gave me or linked me with rather. And these are the engagements that I have in sports. So for my team, we have been together for over 6 to 7 years, and then we are still growing and learning. And I've been able to impact in them the vision and the mission that I have for football over time. Thank you. Okay.
All right, Coachy, how do you identify and develop talents in your team, and what is your coaching philosophy?
Okay. I think this is where football is made, the grassroots level. Which I think the high echelons of football has abandoned over time, because we rarely see the necessary equipment or facilities or even funding for the development of grassroots football. My basic philosophy here, I think, is to catch them young. That is what we do in Bonez Football Club. Most of our players are quite of age and growing into maturity level, but because of the lack of opportunities, most of them play to a certain level, and then they have to start looking for how to make ends meet. Survival is for the fittest, and then over time you see that they could not keep up with the pace or the growing talent of playing football. And so what we do is we try to engage them in exposed tournaments, going to places. Like I always advise my player, if you don't earn money, if you don't sign contractual agreements playing football, you could also play and get paid. You don't have to sign, for instance, the likes of the Osimhen of this world, the Ndidi of this world, and the Ekongs of this world. You don't have to sign a contractual agreement, because when age caught up with you, at that moment, you have to just look for, since you're in love with football, you're in love of sports, you just have to look for other channels or avenues where you could make money off football, and then you get paid for your availability and consistency. So what we do here in Bonez Football Club, we try to expose our players to tournaments. We go to town, we go to different areas, we go to other states and play inter-state tournaments, register for national competition like the NLO or the likes. Also, we link our player with external scouting programs, as the case may be. So these are the kind of necessary exposure that we give to our players to ensure that they shine forth and people recognize them. I'll give you an instance. We have about 2-3 persons that started from this place sometime in 2021 in the person of Philip Udoka. He played here at the grassroots level, and he was scouted and taken to South Africa, Tanzania and the likes. Also, we have a couple of players we've exposed for scouting programs, and they were selected, and then they travel from there. So these are the visions we have for the club. And then gradually you see that they get exposed, and then they could sign contractual agreement and then travel overseas. That's what we are putting our efforts in.
Based on what you said, I would also want to bring to your notice that Tipngoal will be organizing, a grassroots tournament, and we have some teams that will be coming from, from Buse, from area 10, good teams, that are already playing in the lower division league, that are a bit higher than what we have here. And those teams, when they come over here to play those tournaments, of course, they will meet other teams, and definitely they could be interested in 1 or 2 players from Kubwa here. So, is this something that Bonez is looking to take advantage of?
Yes, of course. It is an opportunity welcome. I am fully aware that for the Abuja zonal arrangement, I think the NLO should commence in a couple of weeks' time. We're expecting the fixture, and some of our players have already been assigned to certain clubs that have piqued interest in them, and they will go and play for them, since we don't have the finance or the financial capacity to register for the tournament. So they will go and represent the team, or rather play for the team on behalf of Bonez Football Club, because the players will be selected to play them. Last year it happened. I think some of our players represented NAF, also Boosdor, also even Mighty Jets. We had a player that went fast from Abuja to Jos to play for Mighty Jets. So it happens here in Grassroots. We are ready for the Tipngoal Tournament. I think it's a good avenue for sport development. When you bring such opportunity to them here in local football, you motivate them to play, you motivate them to give them the opportunity to escalate their own career and become better in the future. When you train and train and train without any viable tournament, there is no motivation to do better in sports. And then when you compete with people that are above your level, people that have played above your level, you see that you have to improve your own game. And I think it's a good game. Most of the friendly games we play here over time, I think, has been top class friendly from teams that participate in NLO or NLA, as the case may be, just to prepare them for the forthcoming fixture. So I think we're ready for the Tipngoal forthcoming tournament. Yes.
Coach, so would I also like to know what makes your team different from other grassroots teams, and what's the vision for your team in the next 1 to 2 years?
All right, I'll make it short and simple. I think consistency is key. If you look around most clubs within our vicinity here in Viaji, which is where we are situated and located, I think we have been the most consistent. First of all, keep the pitch busy over time. We brought quality friendlies from far and wide, and it has made Bonez Football Club relevant in this part of our ecosystem here. And we have the vision and the goal for Bonez is continuous exposure, like I said earlier. We want, for instance, we have a couple of players that have gone for scouting program in Kano, Kaduna, because some persons came here as agents, they watched them, they liked them, and they scouted them, and they are willing to expose them to meet other players. When you play only locally, you don't develop. When you meet your mates outside and out there, you tend to improve your performance, and then you can do better. So that is our vision. We want to remain consistent, we want to remain committed and dedicated to sports, and hoping that if God shines or our door knock on a very good day, God Almighty will bring bigger deals for the player, and then they can be able to play professionally. That is our goal.
Thank you, Coach.
From Kubwa City to Johannesburg Lights, they thought it was luck. We built it right. Tipngoal. Kubwa City, where the hunger was planted. Dreams in my chest, but the odds never granted. Cold nights planted, vision expanded. Turned every doubt into fuel I commanded. Green light glowing while the whole world sleeping. Solid grind, promises I was keeping.